pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles Workbook, Lesson 194, Insights. I place the future in the hands of God. This lesson is very comforting to me. When I remember my future is in God's hands, all concern, worry, and anxiety fade away. If I look honestly at all my thoughts of worry or concern, they all come from a lack of trust in the future, which reflects what I believe the past has taught me. I believe the past has taught me things happened to me I didn't want to happen, and other things didn't happen I did want to happen. Thus, all my concerns about the future are projections of the past. Placing my future in the hands of God ends projection. My only hesitation comes from the lack of trust in God. This lack of trust is just another reflection of old beliefs from the ego thought system. Even this is gently dealt with in this lesson. We are not expected to instantly no longer have ego-based thoughts or temptations. We are simply reassured that by placing the future in God's hands, these ego thoughts will be quickly replaced by love's reflection, which is forgiveness. Forgiveness is letting go of the past, and since the past is an illusion, forgiveness is letting go of illusion. The more I am able to place my future in God's hands, the more I open my mind to the Holy Spirit's gentle correction of my mistaken beliefs. With the future in God's hands, I no longer need to spend my days planning for my safety and my survival. They are in God's hands. All I need to do is maintain an open mind, a receptive mind, willing to receive God's Holy Spirit's guidance and corrective perception. As with yesterday's lesson, by practicing each hour letting go of the mistakes of the previous hour and putting the hour to come in God's hands, I become free. Each time a thought of worry enters my mind, I will use it as a reminder to place the future in the hands of God. Thus I take what was used to make separation and fear seem real and change it into a stepping stone to freedom. With every concern, every apprehension, I remind myself, I place the future in the hands of God. Thus I walk the path of forgiveness that leads me home. If I have any worries, it is always about something in the future. The Holy Spirit teaches me these worries are always groundless. We all are always safe, no matter what dreams we dream. We cannot separate from God. We cannot make a world of separation. It cannot be true. We remain safe eternally as God created us. My dreams may frighten me, but they are not true. There is no past. There is no future. There is no sequential time. There is only the eternal now. Everyone is in heaven now. By placing my future in the hands of God, I open my mind to the eternal truth that I am in God and remain in God eternally. This is eternal safety, eternal happiness, eternal peace. This is what is true. This is what is real. Anything else is wandering in the wilderness, dreaming of separation. God is. Love is. Nothing else is real. This is my comfort today. Today I am willing to surrender all my fear thoughts and return to the love that is always true now and forever. I have little sticky notes stuck everywhere in my house. It's not exactly a Martha Stewart look, but they are very helpful to me because each one has some passage from the Course or other spiritual book. They remind me often during the day of something I am working on. One of them reminds me that I choose not to make plans against uncertainties, and I will add to it today's lesson to place the future in God's hands. Thinking about how we connect everything to the past made me think about something that happened yesterday. I was shopping at Sam's when I noticed a family shopping near me. The mom was reprimanding the teenager for something he was doing, and the baby was crying. The father looked angry, and the teenager looked halfway between hurt and defiant. I thought as I continued to shop that this was a familiar scene for them because they all looked comfortable in their roles. I understood this because this could have been my family a few years ago when my son was a young teenager and we had played out a number of scenes ourselves. Suddenly, I looked back because the confrontation had become louder. I saw the mom pushing the cart away with the wailing baby in it and looking very angry and upset. The father and teenager son were standing toe to toe, glaring each other down. They looked just moments from throwing punches. I found myself quickly moving away from the situation. I didn't want to see this. My son and his father had confronted one another more than once, and I knew how bad this could be. The problem was resolved for my son and his father through anger management classes, but for a long time, life was very scary around our house. Watching this family's drama unfold was extremely upsetting to me because I was replaying my past. As I hurriedly moved away, my stomach tightening, my anxiety level quickly rising, I suddenly remembered that the lesson today was all things are lessons God would have me learn. Immediately, what was happening began to take on a new meaning for me. I had a conversation with myself. At first, I berated myself for my reaction and said to myself I shouldn't feel like this. Then my calmer inner voice reminded me that I feel what I feel. Okay, I said, I shouldn't react like this. It isn't helpful. I was still a little upset, so I continued the lesson with, I will forgive and this will disappear. I felt myself releasing the anxiety that had held me so tightly just moments before. I then asked myself, what reaction would be appropriate in this situation? What would be helpful? I began to pray for that family. I began to see peace descending on them and enfolding them. I realized that I had been feeling angry and resentful of them because of my reaction and all the unpleasant memories it brought back. As I prayed for them, all that melted away. I felt very loving toward them, and my prayers became more heartfelt. I can still see their faces very clearly, and I am going to continue to visualize peace and forgiveness for them. I've been thinking about how all that played out. If I had not been doing my lesson, it may have just been another unpleasant moment which would leave me depressed. I would have also been angry with my ex-husband all over again. Instead, I chose to use that moment and that situation to practice releasing the past through forgiveness. I chose to bless that family, and in doing so, to bless mine as well. I feel so grateful that I was in that place at that moment, and so was afforded the opportunity to heal. pathwaysoflight.org